Hello and welcome to the channel everybody. In this video I'm going to talk about why I bought the Oculus Rift S over the Oculus Quest. So when I bought the Oculus Rift, there was a lot of fuss about the Oculus Quest. A lot of people were loving it. It only just came out and there was so much hype. This great VR headset from Oculus was practically untethered and was much better than the other untethered VR headsets about, like the Oculus Go, for instance. In terms of untethered headsets, the Quest is pretty much where it's at. And the Quest is about the same price as an Oculus Rift S, but untethered. So why did I buy the Rift S over the Quest then? Well, there's a few reasons for that, and everyone's going to differ here. I think the Oculus Quest is a great VR headset. A great step into virtual reality, especially if you don't have a gaming computer like what I have already. However, it does have its downfalls. So the two headsets are about the same price, at least for the Quest 64 gig model. If you want to go the 128, it jumps up a bit more. Which, to be honest, if I was going to buy a Quest, I would probably go the larger capacity model, which would probably make it a little bit more expensive than the Rift, at least for me. Now, one of the downfalls to the Quest that I wasn't a fan of, and to be honest, I'm not even... Most VR headsets set a standard of a 90 Hertz refresh rate. And something that nearly stopped me from buying the Rift S was the fact that this is only 80 Hertz. And I was looking to upgrade from my Lenovo Explorer, which is actually 90 Hertz. And on paper, these two headsets, they're next to no different. If anything, the Lenovo might even have the edge over the Oculus Rift S on paper. But then once I actually got them, I found the Rift S had some significant advantages. I won't go into that. I have a video on that. Oculus Rift S versus the Lenovo Explorer. If you want to see that, go watch that. I don't really want to go into that in this video. So I thought, is it even worth upgrading to something that's only 80 Hertz compared to 90? And then the problem with the Quest again is Oculus put even less of a refresh rate on the Quest. It's only got 72 Hertz. So especially in fast-paced games, you're going to have issues with the Quest compared to something like the Explorer or even the Valve Index, which is 144 Hertz. So for me, the Rift S won it there. Not by a lot, but it did. I don't think I could bring myself to buy a VR headset with less than 80 Hertz refresh rate. Even this I struggled. I really think 90 Hertz should be the minimum on a VR headset. The second reason I bought the Rift S over the Quest is performance. So with an Oculus Rift S, the performance of this will come from your very powerful gaming PC, if you have one. For me, I do. It performs well. The graphics great, not much stuttering, pulling that 80 Hertz refresh rate just fine. However, with a Quest, that's a very different scenario. With a Quest, you effectively have smartphone engineering in the front of the Quest here. The Snapdragon processors, all the graphics of pretty much a smartphone in your Quest. And don't get me wrong, the graphical power of a smartphone nowadays is pretty good. But pretty good is not great. Specifically for the Quest does have lesser graphics compared to a Rift or any other VR headset that's hooked up to a gaming PC. So in terms of actual performance, the Rift S has it over the Quest. Also, because the graphics aren't as good with the Quest, there are some games that you just can't really get on the Quest, at least natively, untethered. And that's, to be honest, most of the games I play. So if I did buy a Quest, then I would still have to hook it up via the Oculus Link and tether it to my PC. But that really defeats the purpose of the Quest then, doesn't it? You get worse graphics and you're tethered for effectively a little more money. And it was only 72 Hz refresh rate. And I think that was one of the biggest things for me in why I ended up buying the Rift S. To be honest, I wanted the freedom of the Quest to go around VR gaming untethered, free of this cable, free of the restriction that unfortunately most VR headsets have had to date. So a very big part of me really wanted to buy the Quest because I wanted that untethered gaming experience, and I had the Lenovo Explorer anyway, which was my tethered PC, sort of gaming headset. But to be honest, as newer generations of VR headsets have come along, and as you'll see in my Rift S to Lenovo Explorer video, VR has come a bit of a way since the Lenovo Explorer, which wasn't that long ago, screen door effect and everything. One of the other reasons that I bought the Rift S as well is the fact that I was planning on doing a bit of sim racing and all this as well. And VR headsets generally aren't the most comfortable things to have on your face for long periods of time anyway. And the Rift S, from the reviews I was looking at, a lot of people were saying this is a much more comfortable headset compared to the Quest. Because the Quest has all the processing power and everything crammed into it as well, it also makes the Quest heavier, a little bit more front heavy, and not as comfortable. As well as all your screens and other VR mechanics in here. So it's not as comfortable. The controllers between the Rift S and the Quest are the same. So there was no issues there. I love these controllers. I think they're great. One of the best in my opinion. But to be honest, I still want a Quest. But I'm not going to buy one. And here's why. I think the Quest was Oculus' way of showing everyone what we can do, what is to come in VR. With the Quest, they're doing this thing with the hand tracking. So you can kind of throw the controllers out the window and it'll literally just track your hands. So you can use your hands in VR instead of controllers, which is great. But for most games it won't support it anyway. And it's very limited in its capability. Just like it's limited in its refresh rate and limited in the graphics it can put out. It just felt to me like this version of the Quest was more like a beta. It was Oculus putting a headset out there and saying, this is what we can do, and this is where we're headed in the future. And I nod to that. And I hope the VR future does continue in that direction. Because in theory, the Quest is amazing. But at the moment, it's still too limited in its capability. And I think the next version of the Quest is going to be better. Hopefully, the Quest 2 will jump up to at least 80 Hz. The Quest 2 will be able to do better graphics, have better games supported, hopefully not quite as font heavy, hopefully more hand tracking support. But will that even come in Quest 2? Or will it come in Quest 3 or 4? I don't know. What I will say is I'm looking forward to what Oculus do with the Quest from here on out. But I don't think I'll be buying it. Despite the fact I think it's a great VR headset. Now, I don't want it to seem like I'm knocking the Quest and saying the Rift S is a better headset and you should buy this over the Quest, because everyone's going to be different and everyone's scenario is going to be different. Not everyone's going to have a gaming PC, because when you think about it, if you're a console gamer, you mainly do Xbox or PS4 or whatever, and you don't have a gaming PC and you kind of want to get into the VR space a bit more, then maybe the Quest is better for you. Because even though these are about the same price to buy, when you add this price and probably another minimum $1,000 US to get a reasonable gaming PC, then all of a sudden the Rift S becomes a lot more expensive than the Quest. And while it can provide better graphics, faster refresh rate, and a more comfortable gaming experience, it'll do that at a significant cost to the person wanting to buy a gaming PC as well as Rift S. If you have the money for that, that's fine. Maybe go the Rift S. But not everybody does, and not everybody wants to spend that amount of money on a virtual reality headset they're not even sure they're going to use that much. Because we've got to keep in mind, unlike me of course, that's been in the VR space for a bit longer than a lot of the other newcomers that are now starting to buy into VR, this could be the very first gaming experience with VR. And they might have seen some videos here on YouTube of people playing VR and they think, you know what, I want to give it a shot. Maybe their best bet is actually going to be a Quest. But for me though, I think I have been pretty happy with the Rift S. I'm not going to say that Oculus's support in general has been particularly great, and the reliability of the Rift S with some people has not been particularly great, and I have been one of those. I haven't had the greatest experience with the Rift S due to just PC issues, but I don't think I'll get into that on this one. But for most people that have bought the Rift S, most of the issues, as far as I'm aware, have been worked out with this, unlike when this first came out and just had many problems with a lot of users. In that respect, yeah, probably a Quest is better. But anyway, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. Hit that like button if you liked it, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next video.